Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing this beautiful classic clean girl signature Malvika makeup look. Like, I don't even know what I'm going to call this, but this is your everyday makeup look. And I asked you guys that if you want to see a smoky eye or if you want to see everyday makeup look, and 65% of you said you wanted to see an easy everyday makeup look. And yeah, only 35% of you wanted to see smoky eye. So I went with your suggestion. So simple makeup can be a little bit difficult to achieve if you don't know the right shade, if you don't know the right technique. It can look a little bit unfinished. So I wanted to show you how you can do like a very flawless, finished, complete clean girl makeup look. This has also become my signature look. I do this every single time I go out, no matter what the occasion. Like, I know this clean girl is becoming a trend, but I feel like I wear this on every occasion, 365 days. You can definitely use this all around. So I teach you a lot of tips and tricks, but I also teach you how to get a creaseless under eye. I have finally nailed the technique on how you can get a flawless light under eye setting, and I have taken a lot of time trying to test this technique out, and it has worked beautifully for me, and I cannot wait to share all of this with you guys. So yeah, if you guys want to learn all my tips and tricks on how to get this beautiful flawless makeup look, it's gonna be an education one, so please have a seat, you guys. It's gonna be a class that's gonna begin in the next 30 seconds, so let's go. Alright guys, so I'm gonna begin with prepping my skin, but before I prep my skin, I want to tell you that there's a lot of construction noise and I cannot help it at this point, so let's just treat it like a background music. I don't know why people are so hell-bent on building buildings. They just cannot leave a bare land. They're like, bare land, let's build something. That's just Mumbai. Alright, so the first thing to do for your face is moisturize and prep it. Okay, that's the easiest step and a step you cannot miss actually. I don't know if you directly go in with foundation because you're in a rush. Don't do that. Okay, you definitely want to, of course, put your like skincare in the morning, put on your sunscreen. That's like a regular thing you do. The reason why my makeup lasts flawlessly during the entire evening or during the entire day is because I prep my skin really well, and also I'm a very dry skin type, so you want to make sure that you are putting whatever moisturizer you have that matches your skin type. Take any moisturizer. I've been using the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Moisturizer for myself because I just love the way this sits under makeup. I'm going to give you another alternative to the Kiehl's Ultra Facial in case this is, of course, really expensive. Go in with the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy+Smooth Primer. This is a great primer and moisturizer for skin prep. It is absolutely beautiful and I've been recommending it to people all the time. So, and then immediately I have been actually loving putting on 2 drops of the Nykaa Skin Potion 24K Gold. I don't know, I tried that in my drugstore video and I'm like, this works. Any sort of beauty oil, if you're not an oily skin type, if you're normal to dry to very dry, I think this really works. Just take 2 drops of any beauty oil you have and just like dab it onto your skin. It really gives you that hydrating layer. Like, all you need is to prep your skin really well if you want a flawless base, and that is not a makeup trick. It is just essential for you to get flawless foundation on your skin. I'm taking the Benefit Primer as usual. This is the Porefessional Light Primer. Again, this is sort of like a blurring primer, so I put that like right on my nose because that's my area of concern. Then I have been using my concealer first these days. Okay, I don't go in with foundation straight away because I feel like it's super heavy. I can drag out my concealer and sort of blend it into my foundation, which I think less product is best. Okay, so now when it comes to concealer and setting the eye, I think this is one of the most crucial parts of the makeup because I usually see people have a lot of issues with under eye, and so have I. Okay, now that I've grown a little bit older, I can see some wrinkles coming here, and that's okay. But you just have to learn your face texture, your face structure, and how to work with your face. Whatever works for me will not work for you maybe. So don't try to like replicate what I'm telling you. Try to like find your own theme and rhythm and try to understand your skin. The more you sit with your skin, the more you try different tips and tricks is when you'll understand what is working for you. When it comes to concealer, a lot of us are confused on what shade to use. Like, I get that a lot sometimes. Miles, what is my shade? I will not know. It's best to go to a store and sort of like try it out. But again, the sales people there are just like confusing. They'll always give you a brighter shade for you to look bright and light, but you don't have to look bright and light. Okay, you just have to come very close to your skin tone. One of the concealers I've been loving is the Huda Beauty concealer. This is the 4 filter concealer, and it's in the shade Graham Cracker 4.1G. It's got a golden undertone to it, and I always choose a concealer that is one shade darker than my original skin tone because it does cancel out the darkness that you see here. Okay, it takes it away. Okay, so the golden undertone sort of like cancels it out, and then I use like a lighter concealer to sort of brighten the under eye. Alternative to this can be the Maybelline Fit Me Medium Concealer. Okay, so there are drugstore alternatives. Okay, I've started to apply little, always apply less, and then you want to sort of blend it out. Okay, and the beauty sponge I'm using is the drugstore company sponge, the PAC sponge. They all are black, so I'm not sure, but like you definitely want to use your sponge. You can go in with your finger, but I feel like a sponge gives you that final touch. You know, even brushes are great. So again, when you're blending it, take it in. Make sure your beauty sponge is slightly damp and not soaking wet. And then you just want to make sure you're pressing the concealer into your skin. Alright, so now you can see slight sort of golden undertone here, which is good, which is exactly what I was going for. It sort of cancelled my darkness, which I like. Now you can use color correctors, but I'm not a fan of color correctors. It's just another additional layer unless you really need it. I say skip the color corrector, the orange corrector and stuff like that, and just go with a similar shade of concealer to your skin. One shade darker is fantastic. I think you should do that. I've been doing that all my life. What you don't want to do is go in with a lighter concealer first. If you go in with a lighter concealer, you're going to look gray. Okay, a lot of us have this concern of gray under eye. Why is my under eye looking so gray, Mars? I tried so much. It's because you have chosen a very light concealer. It does not match your skin. Okay, so the lighter the concealer you use, the more gray your under eye is going to look. That's why you want to make sure that you're going in with one shade darker than your skin tone. Okay, it's very essential that you just don't go in with a white concealer. It's not going to do justice to you. Completely took off the darkness, right? It's so much better than it was. Don't chase covering your dark circles like a mask. Don't do that, like, because it's very evident and heavy on the eye. If you go in with 3-4 layers of concealer just to hide that dark circle, it's gonna look even worse. So try to keep the product at minimal, and this sort of will give you like an even tone. This is where I come in with my brighter concealer. I'm gonna take the Tarte Beauty Double Duty Concealer. This is the light medium sand. Again, it's not a white concealer. It's not a bright concealer. I still stick to a very nice tone. Okay, so I know it's gonna look good because I have another layer at the bottom. And all this concealer does is give you additional brightness. Can you see? And it's looking really good right now because I put that golden concealer underneath. Okay, and that's why it's sitting very beautifully on my skin right now. And with my brush, I sort of like drag the rest of the concealer down, right? Bring it down, bring it down. Sometimes you don't need foundation. I'm going to take whatever's remaining and sort of like mesh it with my skin. Alright, so this is it. Now, before I set my under eye, I want to go in with a teeny bit foundation, just in case you have discoloration everywhere. You don't want to look like you've just put makeup here, right? So you want to even it out. For that, I'm taking the Maybelline Fit Me 220. You see how minimal my foundation application is? Like, I'm not going in with 2-3 pumps and covering myself with a mask. Gone are the days of that. Okay, it's not 2016 anymore. Just mesh the concealer, mesh the foundation. The more time you spend on buffing and patting is gonna give you more coverage, okay, and is gonna look more like skin. So of course, like, this is too many brush strokes. Just slight patting motion and push the foundation in so it looks like your skin. I know a lot of you put like foundation on your forehead. I would say avoid. Whatever is remaining, just a teeny bit, pea-size amount on the forehead, and blend it over, because you know you sweat around there a lot and it just gets collected and forms lines of foundation. You don't want to see all of that, right, on your face. So once you do that with your brush, take your beauty sponge. Always go over with the sponge. The sponge picks up excess foundation, so if you've put anything extra, it's gonna pick it up right away. So yeah, this is my base, right? I still look like me. I still look like I have good skin, good juicy skin, and all of this shiny glowiness that you see is coming from the skin prep that I did earlier. There are some tools you need to get like the perfect base. For example, you need a great sort of kabuki brush if you're into brushes. This is the ProArt AK 42 brush, something very stiff. something that can press the foundation in. You also need a fantastic beauty sponge, okay, very like affordable, available in the market, and you just want to make sure you are pressing it in. So these two tools are like important to get a good base. All right, so when it comes to setting the under eye, another very tricky bit. I think complexion in general is so tricky when it comes to foundation, concealer, setting powder. That's the base of your makeup, and if you get that base wrong with your shade and undertone, oh girl, you can do a lot of contour and blush and nothing is gonna come out right because your base, your foundation is not right. I think it's important to understand and find the right shade. Now, I'm not gonna be able to tell you what your shade is. You have to go and just like research. I've gotten so many shades wrong, it's not even funny. So you have to keep dabbling and finding your perfect undertone, your perfect brand, and your perfect foundation. And once you find that, you are good to go. You're golden. Okay, when it comes to setting the under eye, I have changed the way I do that, you guys. You know that I've been loving the Maybelline Fit Me Light powder for years now, and I think it's one of the best loose powders in the market that we have. What has happened to me, like I said earlier, I've been developing like small little wrinkles here, and the Fit Me powder is seeming too heavy under my eye now. So I'm not able to use just Maybelline Fit Me and bake under my eye. Gone are the days where I had like flawless under eye, where I had no wrinkles, but now I feel like it's just getting too heavy. It is a very heavy powder, mind you, and then I bake on top of that, which is just too much, right? So now it's not working for me. I just realized every time I used to bake my under eye, it used to get collected over time and it used to look very heavy and like I put too much makeup when I didn't. So I was trying different tricks on how I can get my under eye to look absolutely flawless and skin-like. So I came up with an idea, and I feel like this is going to help so many of you. Again, I think the selection of loose powders do matter. So I think the Fit Me is fantastic. I use it in light 15, and then I go in with a slightly lighter powder, which is this one right here. This is the K Beauty powder that I have, again, easily available. This is in the shade Vanilla. Okay, it's the HD loose powder. Now, what are the difference between these two powders? Okay, like I said, this is slightly tinted. This is heavier on the eye. It's got great coverage. Now, the K Beauty is, like you can see, it's slightly lighter in color, more so like translucent. It's very finely milled and it's a lightweight powder. So these are polar opposites of each other. So I'm like, wait, let me just mesh the two and then put that on the under eye. And it worked beautifully. It worked like magic. Why? Because when I use just the Maybelline Fit Me, it's heavy and cakey. When I use just the K Beauty, it is light, does not set my eye very well, and I have a gray cast underneath for some reason. So I'm like, well, how do I get the coverage of Maybelline Fit Me while getting the softness and airiness of a loose powder? By blending the two. Okay, so I'm your science teacher. You can literally see the difference of color. Your under eye looks gray because of the choice of concealer, which I've already taught you how to do. And second is the choice of loose powder, which I'm about to show you. So earlier I used to bake using my damp beauty sponge, but now what I do is use this beautiful tool right here. This is going to be a game changer for your under eye. Okay, this is the packed sponge. I'm sure you get other brands as well. They're very famous now. Okay, this is how it is. You know, the usual puff, the old school puff, that is working. Okay, and this is by Pack. I got it on Nykaa. And what we're going to do is dunk. We have mixed it. Tap it behind you. Tap it. Let it soak in. Okay? And now, all you want to do is look up. Press. So I am baking for 25 seconds. I used to keep it for like a minute, 2 minutes. Not anymore. 20 seconds, 30 seconds, dust it off. I'm letting it stew, let it cook, let it bake. But the technique of baking ensures longevity of your concealer. It will last you the entire day. Trust me, you can sleep through this and nothing will happen. So while we're talking, the powder's sort of like setting my concealer, right? I have not seen a single crease after I started doing this trick. And I'm like, I think I nailed it. So I tried a lot of techniques and none of them worked. I'm going to find a way to have creaseless under eye, and I did. Okay, and I think the whole idea is choosing again the right undertone of loose powder and this puff. There's something about this cloth puff that does the trick for you when it comes to under eye. So yeah, gone are the days where I set it with a damp beauty sponge. It does not work for me anymore. I do not set my under eye with a brush, but a lot of people just dunk it and just does not work for me. Okay, so this is the star of the show. Any brush, okay, and we're just gonna dust off a little bit powder, right? Whatever is left, we're not done. Whatever is remaining, just do this. Go back and forth. Look up. Press, 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 press. Don't sweep, dab. Okay, I have nothing on my sponge. I'm just sealing it in. And you guys, we're done. This is not creasing. It's not coming off all day. It is like you have flawless under eyes. It is a trick that has worked for me so beautifully. And I have closely monitored this trick the entire day. I have worn it in the afternoon. I've reached home at 12 a.m. and I've checked my under eye like this in the mirror. And I'm like, because I really want to see technique before I show it to you guys. Now you can see my skin is still hydrated because I just targeted this area. I don't need setting anywhere because I'm a dry skin. If you're an oily skin and you need that damn powder, just again, either go in with like a compact or with the loose powder and just go over your entire face. Again, don't use excess powder or excess anything. This will do the job. Okay, just pat it in and soak up the oil. Pat it in and you are gonna be flawless, woman. Okay, now for your lid, again, a lot of times, and I have been guilty of this, that I have seen like concealer lines on my lid. It just happens. Okay, so again, a little bit of loose powder. All you want to do is press and drag. Press and drag. That's it. Oh my gosh, this is like literally, I put 2 layers of concealer, I put 2 powders, but it does not look cakey, does not look heavy. It's all about how you use your products and how much you use and what tools you use to set them, right? So now this under eye, dude, is genius. It's not going anywhere and it just feels so lightweight. So lightweight on the skin. Now let's move on to brows. I'm very close to your screen right now. It's very creepy. I'm taking the Sugar Arch Arrival Micro Brow Pencil in Taupe Tom and I'm just going to show you, well, there's no trick to brows as such. It's very subjective and personal. Now when it comes to brows, I really love a good boxy brow, okay? I love a lot of volume in it and not everybody does. So like I said, customize your makeup according to your face shape, okay? You don't have to replicate what I'm doing. It may not suit you. So what I'm doing is I'm just filling in the gaps. I'm not trying to overdraw. I'm not trying to create like this whole new person and whole new brow. Just trying to fill in the gaps that I see. And then that's it. I'm not going to overdo it. Now I want to shape this unevenness, right? So what I'll do is I'll push my hair down with the spoolie. See all this gap? It's giving you fullness now. Okay, if you don't push your hair down, you cannot get in there. Okay, so you want to get in there and sort of like fill it in. It's sort of like putting, you know, those hair powders over here to sort of fill in the baldness. That's exactly what you're doing. And then you want to brush it up. Brush it up. So the pigment is actually covered by the hair now. You can't see like an arch. Because a lot of times I see a lot of girls with very painted brows and very arched brows, which looks slightly artificial. It doesn't look like your natural hair. If that's the look you're going for, then by all means, but this is like an everyday natural makeup look, right? Doing this technique of brushing it out is what's going to make it look natural as much as possible. Just keep doing this. All right, so now I am done. Okay, so can you see the volume here? That's all I'm trying to create. I'm not trying to create a different shape, which you can if you have lesser hair. Now look at this, how flat. And look at this, it's got like structure to it. I tried my best to match them. They're not always perfect. And then you want to go in with a brow tint or a brow gel, anything that you feel just to seal the deal. You can leave it like this totally. But just to seal it in, I just like to go over some product. Okay, it just like looks so nice. It lightens the brow. This is the e.l.f. Wow Brow. All right, moving on to bronzer. Again, bronzer is super simple, you guys. Like, I'm going to teach you like a simple way of contouring and bronzing together, because now doing contouring and then taking a bronzer, it's a bit much for every day, right? But you do want that shadow. So I'm going to take this. This is the Rimmel bronzer. And what I'm going to do is I'm taking the Pro Art PF07. Any fluffy brush like this will do. Any. Okay. And do you see this? Your ear. Okay. That's where you want to begin. Right? This is every day. Don't overdo it. You don't want to have extremely chiseled cheeks on an everyday look, you know. I don't prefer that. You just want some color to the skin. See, just a kiss of bronzer. And I'm just taking it up to my temple. Always take your face products up to your temple. Don't stop with one line. Very odd. Continue it till here. Go on the side. That's it. It gave you structure, it gave you shadow. That's all we want. Okay, when it comes to nose, I'm using this Pro Art PF14 brush, like super old brushes, and these are damn old. So you want to draw the line closer. We all know this. And I'm not going to start here. It's very odd. You don't want two lines like this, okay? What is the trick? Okay, you take it up to your brow and you bring it down. Don't stop. Everything has to be connected. Okay, this brow gets connected to the shadow, gets connected to your temple, gets connected to your contour. That's how your skin looks flawless. Okay, you don't want to have cuts, cut, blush. Not a look you want to go for. So again, if you don't have this brush, just take an eyeshadow fluffy brush. No problem. Okay, just focus it on the bridge of your nose. Take it slightly in. Don't go heavy-handed because then it looks very masculine. Okay, so you just want to take a soft hand inside. Another tip and trick. If you have a longer tip and you want to shorten the length of your nose, usko chota karna hai. Take your bronzer, put it underneath. Circle it, okay, like this. It's going to cut this part of your nose. Visually, it's gonna cut this part of your nose. So again, makeup, all about illusion. I don't have a long tip, I'm just showing you. Take your beauty sponge, go over your contour, don't forget. Okay, cool. Now when it comes to blush again is super easy. I love cream blushes. I've been obsessed with cream blushes. I have tons of favorite cream blushes, but I've been loving the Nude Sticks one. These are the Nudies matte all over bronze color, and this is the Nudies all over face color. Same thing. This is in Sunkissed, which is my favorite shade of all time. It's a terracotta brownie dark pink, gorgeous on the skin. And then we have this new one which is Naughty and Spice. So it's got like a more hint of a pink, and this is more hint of a sun-kissed look. The alternatives are you have the K-Beauty, of course it's not the same shade, but you have the K-Beauty blushes that are also fantastic. These are just beautiful, okay? So now for cream blush, what I do is I take a fluffy brush, but like a brush that can maneuver. You don't want to take something like this for a cream blush. This is powder brushes. Okay, then you don't want to take something like this. This is too stiff. It's too focused. You don't want that. You want something that is a medium-sized brush that is easily blendable. I don't want to take the blush like this. I don't, because I do have powder going on underneath my eye. I have a powder contour. So doing it on my face like that is just going to be tougher to blend. Okay, so always do this. You can pat it onto the back of your hand. It's a great palette. Depending on where you want it, I always start up. Always start up. Take it to the temple. That's one look. Snatched. But you want to bring it down to your cheek? Go ahead. Right? Such a gorgeous color. Again, I run it on my nose because that's just, I love doing that. So this kind of a brush sort of really helps. You can use your fingers too. Fingers are fabulous as well. Brush just gives me a better application when it comes to cream. It sort of disperses the product very well onto your skin. I sound like a teacher. Disperse it clearly and evenly. Look at my face. Looks so cute. It looks like ready to go. Have I done too much makeup? Not really. I've just used very less product. So now when it comes to eyeshadow, I'm not gonna do much. Again, everyday makeup. So take your bronzer, take your blush, use anything with color, and you just wanna run this across your lid. You see this crease? Just go over it. That's all the eyeshadow you will need. What you can do is take your blush, you can just add a little bit of color. I'm using the Maybelline Sky High Mascara. It's a great one. It's like fantastic. And for mascara, again, all you want to do is, it depends if you like that clumpy look, if you like a very soft look. For a makeup look like this, you want to go soft, right? So all I'm doing is pushing it diagonal. Why am I sounding like a teacher? Diagonal. Up, up, up. Lift that direction. It's going to give you like a really nice cat eye look. I wanted to show you liner actually, but I don't do liner on a daily basis. I just don't. What you can do is, for people with hooded eyes like me, Okay, there's just a lot of like skin that's falling over, which, you know, sometimes just messes the liner. Obviously, you do your liner before your mascara, but I wasn't gonna do a liner. I start from the outside, I don't start from the inside out. So all you wanna do is draw a very tiny wing and you wanna stay towards the outer side, okay? The more far you draw it, the more nicer it looks. All you wanna do is do a little bit on the outside. Now, earlier I used to lift my liner, it doesn't look good. So I do a more straighter wing. And yeah, I think this is the best we can get, honestly. Otherwise, this flap of skin twists and ruins the wing, which is not good. Okay, this is as best as I can do with wing and how quickly you can get out of the door. I love doing my lips, you know that. Okay, and I have just been loving very creamy, satin, glossy lips. That's just where I'm leaning towards, or bullet lipsticks. Liquid lipsticks I still love, but it's like a little bit too drying for me, so I like to keep my lips very like moisturized. I've been loving this. This is the Kaja lipstick. This is the Heart Melter in Crazy For You. It's available on Purple. Yeah, when it comes to lining my lips also, I feel like I said, I have not found a cheaper lip liner. So just pick up whatever liner you have. Always line your lips. It is the trick to fuller, beautiful lips and like contoured lips. I just don't understand people who put lipstick directly on the lips. I'm like, you have missed a huge chunk of real estate on your lip. The Cupid's bow, see that? It just lifted it automatically. This is the Citizen Cosmetics lip stroke in Char. It's available on the cross-border store. Any sort of lip liner that comes close to your lips is the best one to use. Now you can see this, right? I'm gonna really line it and make it look stunning. It's like literally having aloo paratha without dahi. I don't know if I said that right. It's like you need some dahi, right? To like seal the deal. Aloo paratha, dahi, achar. It has to go together. I don't know why I said that. But I'm just thinking of things that go together. It's like you cannot do one without the other. Do not skip your lip liner. It gives you like the most beautiful effect. And then you want to go in with any lipstick of your choice. Moisturizing, stunning, everyday color is what you want to stick to. Now you can add a touch of highlighter for the evenings in case you just want a little bit of glow. Now this is the L'Oreal Paris Le Barra Blush highlighter in Be Brave. You don't have to because my skin has glow already. But if you just want to touch, you want to just make sure you're just going over here, above the temple. Okay, no strokes. Not 2016 Malvika where she's double highlighting. Okay, just a hint. You want to be dripping in glow. Okay, you don't want to look like, oh, she's put like a stroke of glitter on her face. Alright guys, that's all I have for you. This is the final makeup look and it is just a classic, beautiful, clean girl look. So also signature look of mine. So I hope you learned something new. Don't be intimidated by too many products and too many techniques out there in the market. Just understand your face structure, understand your undertone, and you'll be good to go. I love you guys so much and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.